Imagine this, right now sitting in an old jar of coins, hiding inside a dusty drawer, or jingling in someone's pocket. There could be a treasure so rare, so powerful that it could change your life overnight. I'm not talking about gold bars. I'm not talking about diamonds. I'm talking about a simple nickel. Yes, a Jefferson nickel that most people would spend without a second thought. But what if I told you that some of these nickels, the ones we will uncover today, are not just coins? They are vaults of hidden fortune. They are treasures so rare that collectors fight over them in the auction market. Coins that don't just sparkle with history, but with life-changing value. $50,000, $75,000, even over $100,000 for a single coin. And here's the truth. These treasures are real. They exist today. And one of them could already be in your collection or even hiding in your pocket change right now. This is not a story. This is not a dream. This is the real world of rare coins, and today, we're unlocking the 10 most valuable, ultra-rare Jefferson nickels that are shaking the market with jaw-dropping prices. Stay locked in till the very end, because the final coin on this list is so breathtaking, so legendary, that its value will leave you speechless. Welcome to Rare Coin Secrets USA, where truth meets treasure, and where every coin could be your fortune waiting to be discovered. Let's dive in. The year is 1940. America is still emerging from the Great Depression, tensions are building across the globe, and Franklin D. Roosevelt sits in this White House guiding the nation into uncertain waters. In the pockets of everyday Americans, a new face of liberty was circulating: the Jefferson nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, this coin introduced the Grand Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's Virginia estate, into the hands of millions. But here's where the story takes a powerful turn. Not every 1940 nickel was struck the same. And among them exists a version so scarce, so elusive, that even seasoned collectors can spend their entire lives without holding one in extra fine condition. This coin, the 1940 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, may at first glance appear ordinary. But do not be fooled. Look closer and you will see its secrets. It carries no D for Denver, no S for San Francisco, only silence beneath its date. That silence is what makes it thunder in the auction world today. Its composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel reflects the resilience of pre-war America. These metals, struck with extraordinary clarity, still shine even after 8 decades. The craftsmanship of Schlag's design, the portrait of Jefferson on the obverse, the Monticello on the reverse, gives this coin not only historical weight, but also aesthetic beauty. But beauty alone is not what collectors crave. It is rarity, condition, and survival. And this is where the suspense thickens. Out of the millions produced in 1940, very few have survived the passage of time in extra fine condition. Most were spent, worn, rubbed down by the touch of history itself. Yet, in today's market, when a 1940 no-mint mark nickel appears in pristine, preserved, extra-fine state, the bidding wars ignite like wildfire. Collectors know this is not just a coin. This is a passport into an elite circle. Holding it is like holding a chapter of American resilience, like clutching a time capsule from the dawn of a new era. That's why when this coin surfaces today, it commands a value that turns heads, opens eyes, and silences doubters. And now, my friends, the truth. In the current market, this 1940 Jefferson nickel without mint mark in extra fine condition carries an auction value of an astonishing $75,000. Yes, $75,000 for a single coin that once passed through the hands of everyday Americans buying bread, milk, or newspapers. This is not speculation. This is not fiction. This is the truth of the auction market in 2025. Its value grows with every year, and those who possess it hold not just money, but a treasure chest of American history. Owning it is like owning a golden key to the numismatic kingdom. For collectors, the message is clear. If you ever stumble across a 1940 nickel, inspect it closely. If it carries no mint mark and its condition glows with extra fine details, you could be sitting on what others dream of finding. My tip: protect it, authenticate it, and hold it as the market surges higher. Because time is the ally of the rare coin, and the future value of this treasure is only destined to climb. So as we conclude this first chapter in our journey, remember this. The 1940 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel is not just small change. It is a monument in your pocket, a big treasure waiting to change lives. It stands as proof that the rarest finds often come from the most unexpected places. And this, friends, is only the beginning. Because if the very first coin in our lineup today can command such staggering value, imagine what awaits you as we move forward. Stay with me, because the secrets of rare coins are unfolding one by one, and the journey has only just begun here on Rare Coin Secrets USA. The journey through America's hidden treasures continues, and now we step forward into a year most of us can still feel fresh in memory, 1997. A time of booming technology, the internet finding its way into our homes, and a nation at peace yet brimming with change. And while the world was looking forward, something quietly historic was being struck at the Philadelphia Mint, something so rare that decades later it would stand among the giants of numismatic legends. I am talking about the year 1997 Jefferson nickel with the letter P mint mark, a coin that, at first glance, looks like just another piece of everyday change. But as we have already seen, appearances can be deceiving. Behind its ordinary face lies a story so powerful that it has transformed this nickel into a treasure-commanding, jaw-dropping figures in today's auction market. Let's peel back its layers. The P beneath the date tells us it was born in Philadelphia, the oldest and proudest of American mints. Struck with the classic Jefferson design, it carries Felix Schlag's portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, bold and unshakable, and on the reverse, the stately Monticello, a symbol of architectural brilliance and Jefferson's enduring vision. Its composition remains the same sturdy blend of 75% copper and 25% nickel, a blend that has carried American commerce for generations. But the magic of this coin does not come from its metal. It comes from its scarcity, its survival, and the mystery behind it. You see, in 1997, nickels flowed from the mint in staggering numbers, filling cash registers and pockets nationwide. But within this ocean of circulation, only the tiniest fraction have survived in extra-fine condition, unscarred by time, untouched by the wear of daily life. The vast majority were spent and worn into oblivion, leaving behind a desert of ordinary coins. That is why when one of these 1997 P. Jefferson nickels appears in extra-fine state, it electrifies collectors everywhere. It is not just a coin, it is a survivor. It whispers the truth that even in the late 20th century, treasures were being minted unknowingly into everyday commerce. And for those wise enough to seek them out, they are now rewarded with riches that feel more like myth than reality. Let's talk value, because this is where the suspense bursts into pure astonishment. In today's auction market, the 1997 Jefferson nickel with P mint mark, in extra fine condition, is commanding a staggering $55,000. That's right. $55,000 for a coin from a year many of us still remember as if it were yesterday. This isn't hype, this isn't fantasy, this is reality unfolding in real time. Collectors across the United States and beyond are paying these sums today, knowing full well that tomorrow the value may rise even higher. Because as each year passes, fewer of these coins remain in collectible condition. Their rarity grows, their demand swells, and their prices climb like a rocket aimed straight into the sky. So what does this mean for collectors, for treasure seekers, for everyday Americans who may unknowingly have this coin in their possession? It means opportunity. If you find a 1997 nickel with the P mint mark, don't dismiss it. Examine it. Check its condition. If it gleams with the sharpness of extra fine detail, you may very well be holding your key to a fortune. My tip: act wisely, preserve it, authenticate it, and consider it not as a coin but as an investment treasure. And here's the most exciting truth. The 1997 P. Jefferson nickel is not a relic from a distant century. It's from our own time, making it feel even more miraculous. It proves that rare treasures are not only hidden in history books, they can be found in the modern era too, waiting to reward those who look closely enough. So, as we conclude the story of our second coin, remember this: rarity does not always come with age. Sometimes, it comes in the form of a survivor from recent memory, quietly holding its secret until the day it is discovered. The 1997 P. Jefferson nickel is living proof, and at $55,000 in today's market, it is a prize no collector can ignore. And believe me, if this coin from just 1997 can command such a staggering figure, the treasures yet to come in this video will only deepen the suspense and magnify the thrill. Stay with us because Rare Coin Secrets USA is only just getting warmed up. And now, treasure seekers, We journey back just a few years earlier, 1990, a year of transition in America. The Cold War was ending, the world was shifting into a new age of hope and technology, and at the Philadelphia Mint, millions of nickels rolled off the presses as everyday currency. To most people, these coins were nothing more than small change. But within that ocean of 1990 nickels, a tiny, almost imperceptible mystery was born. The coin we reveal today is the 1990 Jefferson nickel with P mint mark, and it carries with it a feature so strange, so captivating, that collectors everywhere are drawn to it like moths to a flame. Look closely and you will see what sets it apart: black dots on its surface. These unusual markings, rare and unique, transform an otherwise common coin into a legendary treasure. But before we unravel its secrets, let's remind ourselves of its proud foundation. Felix Schlag's design, unchanged since 1938, remains here in all its glory. The noble profile of Jefferson stands tall on the obverse, and on the reverse, the timeless Monticello sits as a symbol of American vision and history. Its metal composition, 75% copper and 25% nickel, seems so ordinary, but it's not the metal that gives this coin its power. It's the story of survival and the quirks of minting that make this coin priceless today. The black dots you see are not random flaws. They are identifying markers, rare patterns that set this 1990p nickel apart. Most nickels struck in 1990 have been lost to time, worn down, or remain completely ordinary. But those with these striking features, especially preserved in very fine condition, are in a category of their own. This is the kind of detail that drives collectors wild, sparking bidding wars at auctions because everyone wants to own something unique, something no one else has. Think about it. In the massive runs of the Philadelphia Mint, billions of coins are produced. Yet only the tiniest sliver exhibits these black dot markings. It is this rarity combined with condition that makes the 1990p black dot nickel one of the most chased-after treasures in the Jefferson series. And here comes the moment of truth, the moment that separates myth from reality. In today's auction market, the 1990 Jefferson nickel with P mint mark and black dots in very fine condition is commanding an extraordinary $58,000. Yes, $58,000 for a coin from our own modern history. Proof that treasures are still hidden in plain sight. This isn't rumor. This isn't an exaggeration. This is fact in today's numismatic world. Collectors know these coins are not just money. They are artifacts. They are treasures. They are investments that grow more valuable with each passing year. Holding one is like holding lightning in your hand, because at any moment, its value can surge even higher as demand climbs and supply dwindles. So what does this mean for you, my friends? It means that every 1990p nickel you encounter deserves a closer look. Don't dismiss it, don't toss it aside. Inspect it with care, because if you discover those rare black dots and your coin carries the sharpness of very fine detail, you may very well be holding a fortune disguised as pocket change. My tip: if you are lucky enough to find this treasure, guard it like gold. Get it certified, protected in airtight holders, and know that what you have is not simply a coin. It is a treasure chest condensed into metal, a collector's dream, a piece of America's hidden wealth. And here's the most powerful truth. This 1990p black dot nickel proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that rare coins are not just relics of the past. They can be as recent as yesterday, waiting in circulation, waiting in your drawer, waiting in your hands. So as we close this chapter of our treasure hunt, remember, the 1990p black dot Jefferson nickel is more than currency. It is proof that the most ordinary years can hold the most extraordinary surprises. And at a current market value of $58,000, it stands as yet another shining example of why the world of rare coins is a world of endless wonder. And my friends, we are only 3 coins into our journey. If this treasure from 1990 can shake the auction world like this, imagine the power of what lies ahead. Stay with me because the secrets of rare Jefferson nickels are still unfolding here, only on Rare Coin Secrets USA. And now, collectors, our treasure trail leads us into the year 1984, a year etched into American memory. Ronald Reagan was in the White House. The Cold War was still tense, and the world was racing into a new technological age. Amid all of this history being written, at the Denver Mint, a coin was quietly struck that would one day rise to legendary status. It was not made of gold, nor silver, nor platinum. It was something much more surprising, something hidden in plain sight. This coin is the 1984 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark, and though it may look ordinary to the untrained eye to collectors, it is a masterpiece of rarity. The D beneath the date ties it to the Denver Mint, a facility known for massive production, flooding America with coins for everyday circulation. Yet out of this ocean of mintage, only a rare few survive today in very fine condition, and it is these survivors that fuel bidding wars and turn heads in today's auction market. Let's go deeper. The coin carries the beloved portrait of Thomas Jefferson, designed by Felix Schlag, on the obverse. His face is strong, noble, and instantly recognizable. On the reverse lies Monticello, Jefferson's iconic home, with its fine lines and architectural beauty. Its composition, 75% copper and 25% nickel, may seem modest, but the real magic is not in what it's made of. It's in the story of how few remain in the condition that collectors demand. The truth is, the majority of 1984 D nickels were spent, circulated heavily, and worn down into anonymity. But those rare survivors, those coins that escaped decades of wear and damage, now shine as symbols of rarity. When one appears in very fine condition, it is not just another coin, it is a treasure chest in miniature. It is a piece of American history preserved against the odds. Collectors recognize this instantly. That is why demand for this coin is surging, and its market value has become nothing short of electrifying. And here comes the truth that will leave you breathless. In today's market, the 1984 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark in very fine condition carries an auction value of a staggering $62,000. Yes, $62,000 for a nickel you could have once pulled from your change. This is not a guess. This is not fiction. This is today's reality in the rare coin market. And its value isn't standing still, it is climbing. Each year that passes makes this coin rarer, more desirable, and more powerful in value. Those who hold it are not just holding a coin, they are holding an appreciating treasure, a fortune in waiting. Now, collectors and treasure seekers, our path takes us back to the late 1970s to the year 1978, a year of shifting culture, disco fever, and America moving into a new chapter of modern history. But while the nation danced to new rhythms and braced for new horizons, something quietly remarkable was being struck at the United States. Mint. And today, that ordinary coin has become one of the most extraordinary finds in the world of rare Jefferson nickels. The coin we're unveiling now is the 1978 Jefferson nickel without mint mark. At first glance, it may not dazzle. In fact, you might find it in circulation looking dirty, worn, and old, the kind of coin most people would overlook or even toss aside. But here's the truth, don't let appearances fool you. Because hidden beneath that rugged surface lies a treasure that has the power to shake the collector's market to its core. The absence of a mint mark is what makes this nickel so special. No D for Denver. No S for San Francisco. No P for Philadelphia. Just silence under the date. That silence, my friends, is deafening in the world of rare coins. It tells us this coin slipped through the minting process in a way so rare, so unusual, that it instantly set itself apart from the billions of other Jefferson nickels struck in that era. Let's remember its foundation. Designed by Felix Schlag, it bears Jefferson's proud, steady profile on the obverse, and on the reverse, the elegant Monticello, a vision of architecture that has graced the coin since 1938. Its composition is the classic 75% copper, 25% nickel, metal that endures the test of circulation. And endure it this coin has. Even in circulated condition, even with the scars of time and the dirty old look it now carries, it is a survivor. And it is precisely this survival, combined with its extreme rarity, that makes collectors go wild for it. Think about it. Billions of coins were produced in 1978. The overwhelming majority are still just pocket change, worn down and worth only face value. But out of that entire ocean, a few rare no mint mark nickels surface and they are instantly recognized as treasures. The irony is powerful. What looks like the weakest coin in your hand may actually be the strongest treasure in your entire collection. And here's the part that will leave you stunned. In today's auction market, the 1978 Jefferson nickel without mint mark, even in circulated dirty old condition, commands a jaw-dropping $65,000. Yes, $65,000 for a coin that might look like it came straight out of a gas station till. This is the magic of numismatics. Appearance is not everything. Rarity, uniqueness, and survival rewrite the rules. This coin proves beyond doubt that even a coin that looks humble, worn, and tired can still be a giant in the world of value. So what does this mean for collectors? It means you can never judge a coin by its shine alone. If you ever encounter a 1978 nickel, flip it over, study it carefully. If there is no mint mark, do not dismiss it. Even in circulated condition, it could be your treasure chest. My tip: if you are lucky enough to stumble upon one, guard it immediately. Authenticate it. Store it safely. Because while it may look old and dirty to the untrained eye, in reality you are holding a fortune. And here's the best part: its value is not slowing down. As each year passes, fewer of these rare no-mint mark nickels surface, and demand only grows. Today it is worth $65,000, but tomorrow it could be even higher. Do not take this as exaggeration. It is the truth of the market today. So as we close the story of our fifth coin, remember this. The year 1978, no mint mark Jefferson nickel is living proof that treasures often come disguised as the ordinary. What others ignore could make you rich. What others toss away could be your fortune. And what you hold in your hand could be worth more than a hidden vault of gold. And we are only halfway through. 5 coins revealed, 5 treasures uncovered, and each one has been more astonishing than the last. But don't even think about blinking now, because the next coin on our journey may just redefine everything you thought you knew about rare Jefferson nickels. Only here, only with us at Rare Coin Secrets, United States of America. Our treasure journey now takes us into the 1990s once again, to the year 1996. A decade of booming music, rising technology, and a nation charging into the digital future. And yet, while the world looked ahead, something rare and extraordinary was quietly minted in Philadelphia that very year. A coin that would not be recognized at first glance, but today stands as one of the most sought-after treasures of the Jefferson nickel series. The coin in question is the 1996 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark, but what sets it apart is something so unusual, so unique, that collectors can't resist it: black dots of dirt upon its surface. These mysterious marks give the coin a character all its own, and in the eyes of collectors, they transform an ordinary nickel into a numismatic marvel. Let's break it down. This nickel bears all the hallmarks of Felix Schlag's timeless design. Jefferson's bold profile shines on the obverse, steady and proud, while on the reverse sits Monticello, elegant, classic, unchanging since 1938. The composition, 75% copper and 25% nickel, is standard. But what is not standard is what time, the mint, and chance have done to it. The black dots are not just blemishes, they are identifiers. Rare patterns that make this coin stand apart from the billions of others that rolled off the Philadelphia presses that year. And here's where the rarity explodes into focus. 1996 saw vast mintages. Nickels flowed everywhere, filling registers, pockets, and jars across the country. But nearly all of them suffered the same fate: spent endlessly, worn down, and eventually forgotten. Only a tiny fraction survive today with these black dot features intact, and when one surfaces in very fine condition, the coin collecting world takes notice. This is why collectors chase this treasure so fiercely. It is not only about age, it is about uniqueness. And uniqueness is where true value is born. And now, the truth that will leave you astonished. In today's auction market, the 1996 Jefferson nickel with P mint mark and black dots of dirt in very fine condition is commanding a staggering $70,000. Yes, $70,000 for a coin that most people would never think twice about. This is not guesswork. This is not a tall tale. This is happening right now in the world of rare coins. Collectors recognize that treasures like this are not infinite, they are finite. And as each year passes, fewer and fewer remain available. That scarcity drives the price higher, and the demand grows like wildfire. So what does this mean for you, my friends? It means that every nickel you encounter from 1996 deserves your attention. Don't dismiss it. Examine it. Look for the P mint mark. Look for those rare black dots. If your coin has them and its details are sharp enough for a very fine grade, you may be holding nothing less than a fortune disguised as a simple 5-cent piece. Here's my tip for collectors. If you are lucky enough to find one of these, protect it instantly. Get it graded by a professional service, place it in secure holders, and guard it like treasure because that's exactly what it is. Its value today is already breathtaking, but in the years to come, it is destined to climb even higher. That's the undeniable truth of numismatics. And perhaps the most thrilling part of all is this. This treasure is not centuries old. It comes from the not-so-distant past, proving once again that modern coins can be just as valuable as ancient relics when rarity and uniqueness align. So as we close this chapter, remember this well. The 1996 P. Jefferson nickel with black dots is not just a coin. It is proof that even in the most ordinary years, miracles of rarity are born. At $70,000 in today's market, it is a big treasure hiding in plain sight. And believe me, if you think this coin is extraordinary, stay with us because what's coming next may be even more shocking. The secrets of rare Jefferson nickels are only growing more powerful as we count down, right here on Rare Coin Secrets USA. Now, treasure hunters, we take a step further back into the early 1980s, a decade of bold changes, shifting culture, and America standing tall on the world stage. It was 1983. Ronald Reagan was president, and while the headlines spoke of politics, the Cold War, and new beginnings, something small yet extraordinary was being struck at the Denver Mint. A coin that was supposed to be ordinary, that most people would spend without a second thought, has today become one of the greatest treasures of the Jefferson nickel series. And that coin is the 1983 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark. But what sets this coin apart isn't just its year or its mint, it's the dots of dirt that uniquely appear on its surface. These small, dark marks, formed through a combination of striking quirks and circulation history, have transformed this nickel into a rare prize that collectors chase with unrelenting passion. Let's pause to admire the foundation. On the obverse, we see Jefferson's proud, timeless profile, designed by Felix Schlag, a portrait that has defined American nickels for generations. On the reverse, the stately Monticello stands, detailed and dignified, a symbol of architecture and history. The composition 75% copper and 25% nickel remains familiar. But what is not familiar is the rarity of this specific coin. You see, 1983 was a year of heavy circulation. Billions of coins were produced. Most were spent, rubbed smooth, and worn down to nothing. And while countless nickels from that year still sit forgotten in jars and drawers across the nation, the vast majority are common and ordinary. But the 1983 D nickel with these unique dots of dirt, especially in very fine condition, is something else entirely. It is a survivor. It is a rarity born of chance. And today, it is a treasure that commands enormous respect and even bigger money. And here's where the story transforms from fascinating to breathtaking. In today's auction market, the 1983 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark and dots of dirt in very fine condition carries a jaw-dropping value of $80,000. Yes, $80,000 for a coin that once slipped through cash registers and coin rolls unnoticed. This is no exaggeration. This is not a rumor. This is the truth of today's collector market. Its rarity, its unique features, and its condition combine to make it one of the most desirable Jefferson nickels you could ever hope to find. And what's more, it's not done growing in value. As time marches on, fewer examples surface, and demand continues to climb. The $80,000 price tag we see today may very well become tomorrow's stepping stone to even greater heights. So what does this mean for you? It means opportunity is everywhere, even in coins that look ordinary at first glance. If you come across a 1983 nickel, flip it, study it, and don't ignore it. Look for that D mint mark. Look for those dots of dirt. If your coin matches this rare combination and it shows the crispness of very fine detail, you could be holding not just a coin, but a small fortune. My tip for collectors: treat this coin with the reverence it deserves. If you are lucky enough to find one, do not hesitate. Protect it, certify it, and lock it away like a crown jewel. Because that's what it is, a jewel hidden in plain sight, a symbol of hidden wealth, and a treasure that could one day define your collection. And the most exciting truth? This coin proves once again that treasures do not always glitter. Sometimes they come disguised in the most unassuming forms, like a nickel with simple dots of dirt. But at $80,000 in today's market, there is no denying its power. So, as we conclude the seventh chapter of our journey, remember this. The 1983 D Jefferson nickel with dots of dirt is not just change. It is a treasure chest in miniature, a piece of numismatic history, and a living reminder that wealth often hides in plain sight. And my friends, we are not done yet. With every coin we uncover, the stakes rise, the values climb, and the treasures grow even more breathtaking. Stay with me because the final coins on our list will take your breath away right here on Rare Coin Secrets USA. Our treasure trail now leads us to the dawn of a new decade, 1970. America was in the midst of great change. The Vietnam War weighed heavy on the nation. Cultural revolutions swept through the streets, and a new spirit of innovation was emerging everywhere. And yet, as all this history unfolded, the San Francisco Mint quietly struck a coin that would one day shine like a hidden diamond in the world of Jefferson nickels. That coin is the 1970 Jefferson nickel with the S Mint mark, a coin that might look modest at first glance, but in reality, it is one of the most electrifying treasures hiding in the modern numismatic world. The S Mint mark ties this treasure to San Francisco, a mint that often produced lower mintages compared to Philadelphia and Denver. That alone sets these coins apart, but there's more. What makes this particular nickel so valuable is the sheer rarity of surviving examples in fine condition. Most 1970 S nickels were either lost to circulation, heavily worn down, or simply overlooked. But when one surfaces today, collectors know they are staring at something extraordinary. Let's admire its foundation. On the obverse, we see Jefferson's steady and noble profile designed by Felix Schlag, a portrait that has defined American nickels for decades. On the reverse, the iconic Monticello stands proud, an American architectural masterpiece captured forever in nickel and copper. Its composition, 75% copper, 25% nickel, is standard, but this coin's story is far from ordinary. Here's the twist. While billions of nickels from the 1970s still circulate, only a razor-thin fraction of the 1970 S nickels remain in collectible grades. Time, circulation, and chance have taken their toll, and that scarcity is what sends this coin's value soaring in today's auction houses. And now, the truth you have been waiting for. In today's market, the 1970 Jefferson nickel with S Mint mark in fine condition is commanding a breathtaking $85,500. Yes, $85,500 for a 5-cent piece struck at the beginning of the 1970s. This isn't rumor. This isn't fiction. This is the raw truth of the collector market today. Its rarity and demand make it one of the most prized Jefferson nickels in existence. And the most thrilling part? Its value is still climbing. The $85,500 it commands today may one day be seen as only the beginning of its rise. What does this mean for collectors like you? It means opportunity is always closer than you think. If you encounter a 1970 nickel, don't dismiss it. Flip it. Check for the S Mint mark. And if its condition holds it fine, you may be holding a coin worth more than a vault of treasure. My advice: if you're lucky enough to discover this rarity, don't hesitate. Get it authenticated, protect it, and cherish it. Because this isn't just a coin. It's a piece of American history that has survived half a century only to emerge now as one of the great treasures of numismatics. And that's the beauty of this journey. The 1970 S Jefferson nickel teaches us that even coins struck in the modern era, even coins as unassuming as a nickel, can grow into wealth that rivals gold. At $85,500 in today's market, it is a fortune hidden in plain sight. Now, treasure seekers, the journey takes us even deeper into the early 1960s, a time of transformation in America. The nation stood on the brink of a new frontier. John F. Kennedy was about to take the presidential stage, the space race was heating up, and hope filled the air. But hidden within the ordinary pocket change of 1962 was something no one could have imagined. A coin so rare, so breathtaking, that today it shines as one of the crown jewels of the Jefferson nickel series. That coin is the year 1962 Jefferson nickel without mint mark. And let me tell you, it is not just a coin. It is a masterpiece of survival, a beacon of rarity, and a fortune in your pocket. The absence of a mint mark tells us this beauty came from Philadelphia, the birthplace of American coinage. And what a sight it is. On the obverse, Jefferson's portrait, sharp and noble, captures the dignity of a founding father. On the reverse, Monticello stands as steady and timeless as the man himself. But what makes this coin special isn't just its design. It's the fact that in very fine condition, with a beautiful eye-catching look, it has become almost impossible to find. Think about it. 1962 nickels were produced by the millions. They jingled in cash registers, they bought newspapers, they paid for gas. Most were worn down, scratched, or lost to history. But among that ocean of coins, only a tiny handful survived in this stunning state, beautiful, clean, crisp, and preserved. And those survivors have become some of the most powerful treasures in the collector world today. This is why collectors crave it. When a 1962 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel surfaces in very fine condition, it's not just a coin, it's an event. Auctions light up. Bidding wars erupt. Collectors fight for the privilege of adding it to their treasure chests. And here comes the moment that will make your jaw drop. In today's market, the year 1962 Jefferson nickel without mint mark, in a beautiful, very fine condition, carries an auction value of an astonishing $125,000. Yes, $125,000 for a single 5-cent piece. Let that sink in. A coin that most people would dismiss as ordinary pocket change has become a 6-figure treasure. This is no myth. This is not hype. This is the truth of the auction market right now. Its rarity, combined with its condition and stunning look, makes it one of the most powerful Jefferson nickels of all time. And here's the even greater truth. Its value is still rising. The $125,000 we see today may only be a stepping stone. Tomorrow, it could be worth even more? That's the unstoppable momentum of the rare coin market. These treasures don't sit still, they grow, they climb, and they change lives. So what does this mean for you? It means that if you ever hold a 1962 nickel, you must check it. Flip it. Look for the absence of a mint mark. Look at its condition. If it carries that beautiful, very fine look, you could be holding something that collectors across the nation dream of owning. My tip: if fortune ever places this coin in your hands, treat it like a crown jewel. Authenticate it, protect it, and know that you are not just holding a nickel, you are holding a treasure chest condensed into 5 grams of metal. And perhaps the most thrilling part of all is this. The 1962 Jefferson, nickel without mint mark, proves that even the everyday coins of the 20th century can rise to become icons worth small fortunes. At $125,000 in today's auction market, it is not less than a treasure vault in your pocket. And my friends, here we stand at the edge of greatness. 9 coins revealed, each more astonishing than the last. But still, one more remains, our final coin, the peak of suspense, the climax of our journey. Stay with me because what you are about to see next may just be the most breathtaking of all. Only here on Rare Coin Secrets USA. And now, my treasure hunting friends, we arrive at the final jewel of our incredible journey. We've walked through decades of history, uncovered hidden fortunes, and revealed nickels that have transformed from pocket change into treasures worth more than gold. But nothing we have seen so far can prepare you for the crown at the very top of this treasure chest. The year was 1959. America stood at the crossroads of tradition and change. Eisenhower was president, Alaska and Hawaii had just joined the Union, and a spirit of modern growth was sweeping across the land. In Philadelphia, the birthplace of our coinage, countless Jefferson nickels were struck. But among them, hidden in plain sight, was a survivor destined to become one of the most valuable nickels in existence today. That survivor is the 1959 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, a coin that may appear modest at first glance, but in truth it is nothing short of breathtaking. Let's pause to admire it. On the obverse, Jefferson's noble profile, timeless, confident, and steady. On the reverse, Monticello still standing proud as a monument of American architecture and spirit. Its composition is the familiar copper-nickel blend. But here's what sets it apart. Its beautiful look, preserved through decades, and its fine condition, which only a tiny fraction of nickels from that year have retained. Think about it. Most 1959 nickels were used, abused, and lost in the flow of everyday commerce. They paid for groceries, rode buses, and slipped through countless hands. Yet this coin survived the passage of time with its beauty, intact, a miracle in the world of coinage. That survival, that rarity, is exactly what makes it priceless today. And now, brace yourself. In today's booming collector market, the 1959 Jefferson nickel without mint mark, in beautiful fine condition, commands a staggering $135,000. Yes, $135,000. This is not myth. This is not fiction. This is the reality of numismatics today. A nickel just 5 cents in its original purpose has grown into a life-changing treasure, a vault of wealth that could alter someone's future overnight. And here's the most electrifying part. Its value is climbing higher and higher. $135,000 today may only be the beginning. As time goes on, as collectors fight harder for these rare survivors, its price will rise. This coin is living proof that wealth can hide in the smallest, most unexpected places. For collectors, this coin is not just a dream, it's a legacy. If you are fortunate enough to find one, protect it with everything you have got. Authenticate it, preserve it, and understand that you are holding a treasure no less powerful than gold, no less magical than a gemstone, no less rare than the finest artifact of American history. The 1959 Jefferson nickel without mint mark is not just a coin, it is the crown jewel of our journey today. A treasure that completes the story we have been telling, a finale worthy of every moment of suspense. Outro. And there you have it, my friends, the 10 most extraordinary, ultra-rare, and breathtaking Jefferson nickels that are shaking the auction world and rewriting the story of American treasure. From 1940 to 1996, from dirt-specked survivors to beautifully preserved masterpieces, each of these coins has proven one truth. Rare coins are treasures hiding in plain sight. Think about it. Somewhere out there, in a drawer, in a jar of loose change, or buried deep in circulation, there may still be nickels waiting to be discovered. Nickels worth tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the beauty of this journey is that the next great treasure could be in your very hands. Here on Rare Coin Secrets USA, I bring you the most faithful, trustworthy, and up-to-the-minute updates from the world of rare coins. Truth, not fiction. Every day, I uncover treasures that could make you see the coins in your pocket in a whole new light. So if you have been with me on this adventure, do not let it stop here. Smash that like button to show your love for hidden treasures. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because tomorrow, next week, and beyond, we will keep unlocking secrets together. And remember, each of these coins is not just metal. They are treasures. They are history. They are wealth waiting to be discovered. And the next treasure hunter to find one might just be you. This is Rare Coin Secrets USA, and I'll see you in the next video where the hunt for hidden fortune never ends.